In this tutorial, I want to show you how to make camera distance mask to use in LOD system. For demo, I'll use subdivided plane. Now I can make new geonose modifier and pin this window, so it stays after I select different object. Then I drag my camera into geonodes and add vector map set to subtract. Then connect position node to vector math. This will give us position of a camera. Now we can add vector map set to length. This will give us gradient based on distance to camera. Then we need to invert this gradient by multiplying it by -1. Now we can add another math node set to add. This node will allow us to change scale of the mask. At last we need to add two more branch nodes, set them to step linear and change steps number to 1. On the second map branch, swap to min and to max values. This will be far mask that can be used for less level of details. Now here we have clearly visible border where LOD is changing. That will be too noticeable in animation. To solve this problem, we can add some noise. Create noise texture and vector map set to subtract and connect color to first input. Set values in second input to 0.5. Then add vector map set to scale. It will allow us to change range of the noise. Now we need to add our noise vector and location vector. At last, we can add mix node to switch original and distorted vectors. And connect mix node to first vector math. Now we have mask setup and we need to group it. Select all nodes of setup and press Ctrl G. Rename vector input to camera location and enable hide value. Then connect close mask and far mask to output and rename them accordingly. Create input for mask scale and change default value to your liking. Then create input for mix node factor and rename it to mask distortion. Create input for scale node and rename it to distortion range. And set noise texture to 4D and create inputs for W and scale, renaming them accordingly. Now we have mask node that I will rename to camera distance mask. To have multiple masks, we need to subtract previous mask from next one and add scale. To do that, I need two math nodes, add and subtract. Connect add to mask scale and connect close mask to first slot of subtract and previous mask to second slot. Now we can have any amount of masks by duplicating this setup and connecting it in chain. Original mask goes to subtract, add to add, and result of subtract is used as mask. Now we can see repetition here, so we can group the setup again. Rename first value to mask scale and second to previous mask. Clear default values, clear previous mask value in node and enable hide value. Add new input to second math node slot and rename it to mask additional scale. Make output for subtract node and rename it to close mask. Then create output for far mask and original mask. Create pass-through for camera location and hide value in its input. And then make output for add node and rename it to mask scale. and then connect other inputs and set up default values. Rename this node to camera distance chain. And now we have one node that we can duplicate as many times as we need and chain it together. To chain these nodes, connect last 3 outputs to first 3 inputs. And now we can use close mask as selection in other nodes. So let's make simple demonstration. First, I distribute points on faces. Then create instances on points and use one of mesh primitives as instance. And then connecting close mask from first node to selection. To create second layer, I duplicate this setup, change primitive and using join geometry to combine both instances, and then using close mask from second node. To make last layer, I am repeating same steps, but now using far mask from second null as selection. Now we can adjust noise to make LOD change less visible. Thank you for watching and have a nice day.